Happy Halloween, guys! I'm back on this YouTube channel after a few months doing nothing on it, zero content, but sorry, I was busy. Before starting, please like this video and subscribe. It will really help me. And you can support me on my Patreon page, a link below. It will really encourage me to create more content. Let's go, guys! Before starting exploring technique, I want to show you some R&D I did before this project. Yeah, so on this experiment, I try different effector, like for this rotation, for this attractor, and for this turbulence. Very inspired by EJ from iDesign in YouTube. I suggest you to have a look. His new tutorials are amazing. And for channel project, this guy is named Rattlesnake using Houdini is my main inspiration for making. So look at that. Yeah, it was stunning. For me, it was stunning when I seen. So I would like to do something similar that he did. I think it's amazing, and yeah, it's important for me to show my inspiration. Always, when you create, you need to have inspiration for having something focus on it. So let's talk about the first part, the revelation part. This one. How I proceed, guys. So on my scene, I've got one product with collider tag, one floor with collider tag. On my product, I increase friction value for when my ribbon enter with product, it will collapse and stick with it. Then we've got my ribbon model with quite a lot of polygon for having nice simulation after, nice detail on the ribbon, how it moves with different effector. Yeah, so you see 8 segment by 200, so 600 polygon, and we put it on cloner. On this cloner, I have 4 rows in Y and 21 in Z. So I mount about 80 ribbon. So if you do 80 by 200, we have a lot of polygons. So don't go too up, because after your simulation, your cache will make too much time, and we try to don't do more than 5 minutes for simulation. I think if it's more than 5 minutes, it's too much. So I've got a cloner here, but I found it's too regular on how it's it. That's why I add a random. And on my random, I play a little bit value with X and Z value, and few rotation and scale. That way it's much more interesting, because we have few variation. It will help after for our simulation. But you see, we have got some intersection because of the random. That's why I had a push apart. If you want to find all of these effector very quickly, you just need to do Maj plus C, and you can write your push apart or everything you want. You just need to know the name, and it will be faster for you. So yes, with my push apart using a value of 6, by default it's 100. It's way too much. it means 100. It puts the lightest distance between all of the segments, it's 100. But we want only few distance because we want to stay on this area. So that's why I chose 6. This value, I'm pretty sure nothing intersected. When we are sure with our composition ribbon, we can add a close tag to our cloner. It will affect all of the elements of cloner. If I go on my tag value, here I change few value to have the looking of my simulation I want. I will go deeper after to explain you every value. So now we can see how animation is look. So you see all my ribbon go down, and with a linear field using gravity, I can redirect my movement of my ribbon from bottom to the top, because I'm using a linear field for my gravity, and also for extra detail I'm using a turbulence. Let's show you in real time, because I cache, that's why it's so fast, so fast. You see, it's so fast because I cache everything. But if we can do it in real time together, if you want. So let's do it. I will clear my cache. Okay. Deactivate all of this. I will decrease my amount of ribbon to have something like 15 to 15 and 10. We can see in real time. So for sure, I don't want it go away from my my product. If we go here, it will inflate on the air. That's not what we want. We're using this shape to attract our elements and to stay at this place. So let's see what happens if I press play on this way. Okay, so you see with basic gravity, it will go down and nothing happen after. Just because we have collider, it will enter in collision with floor, but nothing happen, nothing really happen. It's not interesting this way. So that's why I'm using a gravity effector. And on my gravity effector, I animate acceleration. By default, gravity is 981 centimeters. It means it will do classical gravity and will go down. You see it go down. And you see on my gravity, I put a keyframe and I invert it to minus 1200 centimeters. It means it will invert gravity. The ribbon will not go down, it will go up. So first it go down and after it go up. Let's see what's happened. And on this gravity, I'm using a linear field. And I animate this linear field. So you see, everything at the right of linear field will not be affected. Everything on the left will be affected. So you see this way. Let's see just with one. So my linear field across and it affects our ribbon. Let's see if I activate my cloner. So with this amount of of ribbon to show. Maybe it's too much, it will be too long to show you in real time, so I will decrease it a little bit. Yeah, like this, I think. And let's see what happened. Oh, you see in gravity, it go down. And my ribbon with the linear field, invert gravity, and honor of my ribbon come from bottom to the end on the air. Great. You see with this angle, that's what we have. And with this gravity animation, I use turbulence. It will add few variation of animation in plus gravity animation. So let's show you with turbulence how it look. Linear field doing this animation. And you see step by step ribbon coming together. And with turbulence, you see we having this nice animation on the ribbon. And yeah, when we are happy with our animation, we can cache it. I press calculate cache. And after we can see it in real time. So for this one, it will take about 1 minute. For the final simulation, I think it take me about 3 or 4 minutes. It's okay. Okay, now it's finished. Let's see how it look. So you see, great. I got all of my ribbon there, and after I just need to invert time. Let's show you in this amount of ribbon. See, because we have a lot of more ribbon, they stitch together. That's why it make something look great like this. And you see, if I add subdivision surface and closed surface, you see how nice, how detailed it is. And no intersection between, that's amazing. So you see I cache it, so it's pretty fast. And after I go there, right click, bake as alembic. And what I've got when I say bake as alembic, I have this cloner, so all of my ribbons separed. And it's really light. You see real time, it's really light. And you see on my final animation, it's inverted like this. It's because I play with this. By default, if I take all of my alembic, it's like this. So it looks like this. But me, I want to invert it, so I just need to invert these 2 points together. And you see, and by default, speed is 100. So for me, you see it's pretty fast, like this. It's too fast, so I want to having something slow motion effect, so I decrease speed, all of my speed alembic to 50, so we've got something really smooth in slow motion. So you see with alembic you can art direct as you want. So let's play new the process of this part of the video, the final shots. So what we've got on the scene. So we've got one product simulation, one product modeling with enough polygon for having good collision with the ribbon. On this product, I had a collider tag, and I increase friction value. By default it's 0.2, but I chose to increase by 1.9 for when the ribbon enter in collision with the product, it will stick with this. So that way it will create the shape of the product after. It will make something really interesting, like the product and the ribbon make fusion together. So I've got my product and I've got my floor with a collider as well. Then we've got ribbon. So you see I've got 4 sizes of ribbon. I've got my tiny one. You see I've got just 2 8 segments. It's enough. Try to be lighter as possible on your simulation, especially when you use cloner, because we want something okay for calculation. When you calculate cache, never more than 5 minutes. So it's enough for a tiny ribbon like this. 2 8 segments is enough. And of course I'm using big amount of width segments for be close to a square for each polygon. That's important. On my medium ribbon, I'm using a little bit more 3 8 segments. On my big, you see it's much bigger, and on my huge, you see about this size. I don't go really up on my subdivision on my huge because I want this kind of look for my huge, like it's really wavy, something really wavy, like a pillow, a wavy pillow. So yeah, think about how it will look with your amount of subdivision for each ribbon. I'm using 4 sizes of ribbon because I want rhythm in my composition. That's why. So when I create my 4 ribbon, I had a cloner for each of them. So for my tiny, my medium, my big one, and my huge. So you see, I chose 1 row for this free cloner and 2 rows for my medium. You see 2 rows because I want this size of ribbon need to be the more present on the scene. It's my choice. You can art direct like you want, but I think this way it's good looking. Yes, so when I've got my 4 cloner, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need to be sure this knot will be enter in collision. So that's why I had a push apart. That way I'm sure it will not collapse each other for simulation. Then I add a random, two kind of random affecting my ribbon. I've got one random playing with position, random, and rotation, and I've got one random playing with scale. And yeah, this way the final render will look much more organic and realistic and interesting. So okay, now when I've got my 4 ribbon, 4 cloner of 4 size ribbon with the composition I like, I can add my close tag. You can go there, simulation, close. And I change some value of my close tag. See if I go by default. This is by default. It's not good for me. I will explain you. So I increase bendiness because I want this is make more wavy look by default. Yeah, same stretchiness. Like the ribbon when it enter in collision with the product, it will be more stretchy. I decrease bounciness because I don't want my ribbon jump each other when it enter in collapse. I prefer something stitched together. I think friction stay with by default, thickness as well, and I decrease a little bit mass because I want something more sorry guys, I want something more aerian. You see, it's floating like on the moon, so I decrease mass. Okay. So yeah, you see animation of my ribbon. And you can see this on the middle will more go up than on the extremity, because I using a gravity. I like to play with. I play with gravity for having this result. It's really important effector. So if you see on my gravity, I had a box field. So it will just be on this zone, and on my gravity, I animate acceleration. So you see, I stay by default gravity there, 980 centimeters by default. So ribbon go down like on a real gravity. Then I add a keyframe to -100. Then the ribbon go on the top and will be collapse with the product. Then you see there I put to 0, so it will be stabilization of my whole ribbon. So you will don't go too much on top. It will stabilize this way. And you see because I add a box field with ramp on the little square is 100% value, and the big square is 0% value. And between the little and big one, we've got a ramp from 100 to 0, and that make you see this nice scale in the on the place of ribbon. See, they are really go on the top, embrace the product, and is stitched on the floor this way. So you see, we have got nice variation in Y place. And for having this nice moving ribbon, I had turbulence. With a tiny strength and tiny scale. It's tiny because we work on a tiny scene. Because first I model my deodorant about same height needs to be in real life, you see. So if I create a default cube, you see it's huge on the scene. So because we work on a tiny scene, all the effector need to be a tiny value. Yes. See, I show you all the animation, and you see it's great because no collision between any of these. Look at that of it's pretty powerful and accurate. And if you see on the camera, I using animation only from 70 to about 300. So you see, I create alembic. When I'm happy with my simulation, I create cache. I take both of these cloner, right click, and bake as alembic. So after I work only with alembic, it will be much lighter on the scene. Lighting, guys. I've got a dome light using gobos from Grayscale Gorilla. It gives you some nice ambience, some nature ambience. Great for this case, I think. Then I have a top light, and you see this top light, it's parallel to my product, and it will give us this nice light line, and will give you even more understanding of the vertical composition. After I have got my key light, came from on the left, a strong and small light, give you some nice detail and nice relief between left and right. And I've got a fill light to remove the shadow we don't want here, because I want something pretty shiny and and regular, even left to the right. So only few variation between both, but I want something symmetrical in the on the composition. And I animate my value of my both free light. You see from 5, for example, for fill from 2 to 5, on my key from 5 to 11, and on my top from 06 to 1. Because it add even more animation of my scene, something like it's revealing from dark to shiny. Same principles as the ribbon, it reveals the product, the light reveal the animation. It will add extra animation, it's more interesting for the rhythm of the video. Let's see animation, how it look. Be sure for having a quick preview to deactivate all of your subdivision surface and close your face, really for preview, and activate it when you render. So yeah, for animation, let's see how it looks. Revealing, something revealing, and here you see it's camera follows the move of the camera. I've got two camera, but they have got same movement. You see ear to ear, it's same movement of camera, but just different angle and focal. So how I did it. So here is my first camera, my zoom camera. On my zoom camera, I add a target zoom. So here is my target zoom. It's a cube I animate. And you see my cube. It is animate from the top to the bottom. And you see this way, because I've got a target, my camera go down and follow movement of revealing rebound. It's very clear way to animate your camera. I did a target because you can play only with one move. In this case, it's in y-axis. So let's unmask my target, zoom. And you see after I've got this movement. And because it's in target, we've got this target, camera will not bend crazy. And you see on my value, if you want to look how is my camera, you see nothing move from this way, just move here and here. Okay. Yeah, it's look really far because I'm using focal length, extremely big focal length. This way we've got something luxury aspect, like because all of the camera in real life with big amount of focal length are really expensive. So with using this, we've got looking really luxury looking and very graphical looking, because everything is not straight together. It's everything look at the same angle. That's what it makes it so graphical. And you see camera movement at camera. I had a stage. On my stage, I put first my zoom camera, and I had a keyframe, and I put my global, so it will change. You see, from there to there. And I've got about same movement from my global to my zoom. If we are looking at F-curve, you will see my transition is at 130 frames, and you see it's go really slow at first, really fast at the middle, and really slow at the end. And same from zoom, and same for global. And I exaggerated even more for my global. If I go just to my global to show you it's more clear, I exaggerated for the end, for it be really smooth at the end. My movement like this. And I just change my global for my global camera focal length to 120, and that's why it's look far, and we've got nice contrast between first plant and second plant like this. You see, first plant is more about product, revealing product, really focus on product, and second plant is more about ambience. What ambience, how we feel. And because they have about the same movement, it's merging great together. So we have got a smooth transition between both. For post-production, so here is my two scene. I make adjustment layer for both scenes a little bit different. What we've got, let's show you vanilla PNG sequence from Cinema4D and after. So you see huge change after. The ambient is much more friendly and dreamy ambience. You see, before it was a little so sad before. So first I had a boost adjustment layer, I had a lumetri color, and you see I try to approach Cairo filter from Instagram. I think it's really nice filter for this case, for having a dreamy ambience. So I boost my highlight, my shadow, my white. I boost it, and I add this filter. I use this filter. It's really nice to use it for base, and you can combine it with this adjustment layer. And also I boost in the curve my white, not my black but my white in this case. Then we've got this one. Now for this one I chose to decrease saturation on turn. So I make a mask, I invert it, and I decrease saturation value. You see, if I go minus 100, it will be white and black at turn and saturation at the middle. This way, our eyes is even more focused on the product. And I did about same principle for vignettage. Here, you see, it's a mask, gray mask with a mask inverted, and I play with value like 10. For in this case is great. So you see, with these two masks, our eyes is much more focused on the product. It's tiny variation, but it helps for us to be focused, and it's more nice to watch it this way. And for the global product scene, it's about same, but I'm a little bit lighter on the on my settings. You see, a little bit lighter than the previous one. You see, before too dark, black are too present here. So this way we've got something much more girly ambience and dreamy. Really much friendly and lovely ambience this way. Because this project is for girl and women, so we want something girly and dreamy ambience. So yes, don't underestimate post-production in After Effects. It will drastically change the feeling of your sequence.